This is the town of Peterborough in southern Ontario, a manufacturing and agricultural hub home to nearly 130,000 people.
We're just finishing up our repairs, getting everything last minute stuff ready to go to the field. So
The Haas family has been farming this land for 4 generations, but Brian Haas says their job has been made harder by restrictions, regulations, and taxes under the Liberal government, which has been in power for the past 10 years.
my expectations from the next government aren't very much, to be honest with you. Yes, I know we have to have regulations, but just let us do our job and you guys do your job, and then that'll be great. When you tax everything to the hilt, it affects us exponentially. It affects everybody exponentially.
When winter comes around, working the land is impossible here. Brian and his children rely on just one harvest a year, and this season they're facing that challenge in the middle of a trade war with the United States.
We try to buy everything we can ahead of time. I try to hedge the forecast on what that's going to cost. We buy our fertilizer, we buy our seed, we try to sell our commodities ahead, we forward contract, and we get our trade wars going on here. Well, then you're going to end up paying more for fertilizer because some of our fertilizer comes out of the U.S. We sell fertilizer to the U.S. too. So then you don't know what it's going to cost you. I've got corn sold that we haven't even planted.
To push for change and improve negotiations with the U.S., Brian and his family are backing Conservative Michelle Ferreri, who's running for re-election in Peterborough. In this province, which holds over a third of the seats in Canada's federal parliament, Liberals and Conservatives often run neck and neck in the polls. But for the first time in over a century, here in Peterborough and beyond, it's not domestic policy that's weighing on voters' minds. It is Canada's relationship with the United States.
There are trip hazards, many of them here.
In 2024, 76% of Canadian exports went to the U.S., according to Statistics Canada. And even though some of Donald Trump's tariffs have been put on hold, companies like this machining solutions manufacturer are still feeling the pressure.
It's roughly 90%, if not 95%, of the machines go across the border. We actually had, for some administrative reason, a time period of 3 days where that tariff was in place, and we had a machine cross the border. It cost me $120,000 US, and I cannot claw that back. It is gone.
While Ottawa has promised to eliminate internal trade barriers this summer to boost productivity, Jeff Day is having to make tough and fast decisions to protect his employees.
I'm in strategy mode right now, and I don't know if I should build a small plant in the States, which I'm highly motivated not to do because of how it's coming together. Whether I go to Mexico, whether I go to Taiwan and cross-dock things, I don't know. If anything, it's opened up our eyes.
Business owners like Jeff are feeling let down by their biggest and often only customer, and they're now hoping for support from the Canadian government to bounce back. We caught up with him at the final campaign event for Peterborough's candidates.
We will have each candidate come up and do a 3-minute introduction to themselves as well as their campaign.
Faced with the threat of a recession triggered by their closest allies, Canadians are torn, according to pollsters, between a desire for change and a need for stability. In Peterborough, candidates have had to make last-minute changes to their campaigning to address the trade war with the U.S.
The silver lining of this threat and the chaos that has been ensued by the Americans is that we have to build our resources. The Liberals, Justin Trudeau, Mark Carney, they want to keep our energy in the ground. How can we ever become independent? How can we ever be the richest country that we should be if we don't develop our resources? The Conservatives are the only party promising to build an energy corridor that the world needs and wants in an ethical way.
While Conservatives are promising lower taxes and more extraction of natural resources, Liberals are banking on the resume of their leader, former Bank of Canada Governor Mark Carney, to boost demand and strengthen the economy against U.S. pressure. Their candidate in Peterborough, Emma Harrison, says Donald Trump's attacks on Canada have sparked a wave of grassroots momentum for the Liberals.
The threats to our country and our sovereignty has definitely changed the nature of this election. The turnout to debates, churches are packed, people are showing up. We have an unbelievable level of volunteers, which speaks volumes, I think, to our campaign as well, because it's really hard to get people to volunteer sometimes.
In a sign of unusually high engagement after one of the shortest election campaigns in Canadian history, more than 7 million voters have cast their ballots early. That's 25% more than in 2021, when Justin Trudeau and the Liberals barely managed to hang on to power.